Hello there, friends. I hope you are doing well. I am back in the chair after almost 2 straight weeks of travel. So glad to be home. Glad to be back in the office and at the table for you guys. Taping today, we've got an incredible new moon in Gemini. And I don't know if you're feeling it too. Let me know in the comments, but I just feel like we are on the verge of something, right? Certainly lots of changes politically, but I just feel like it's also something that's happening within us collectively, as people, as one way or another going through an incredible journey together, right? And summoning our collective energy to get through this journey together. So with that said, I just wanted to get on camera first and just say thank you so much for your support, your well wishes, your prayers for one another as well. I love that many of you comment and you'll get on the channel and you'll say, love and blessings and light to all, right? And then you also send special prayers my way. I return it to you tenfold. I cannot say how much I appreciate your support. Let's get to some work here, all right? If you're motion sensitive, look away for a moment. I'm going to bring the camera down to the table. Let's get to the stacks, all right? There we go. Okay, looking pretty good. Let's move it over just a little bit this way. All right, so I'm going to bring it up just a little bit too. Hold on. If you're motion sensitive, hold on for a second. Yeah, let's come up just a tad. All right, that feels good. All right, you all. So you know the drill by now. I've got 3 stacks in front of me. I have not seen these cards. Again, this is tuning into messages from your guides on this new moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. We know in tarot, Gemini is ruled by the Lovers card. So sometimes it means lovers and partnerships and harmony. What brings us into harmony with the world around us, with the people who matter most to us. And it can also be a time of decisions where you have choices to make. Gemini, the twins. I can go this way, I can go that way. So there's a lot of energy right now. And let's go to the piles. Pile number 1 will be this beautiful piece of Sodalite that Spirit drew me to. All right, Sodalite, pile number 1. Pile number 2 is Howlite. Talk about some mental processes, right? And staying clear. Howlite, pile number 2, and pile number 3, beautiful piece of Apatite. All right. And you know how this goes. If you just follow your intuition, you may be drawn specifically to one stone, one stack, or you may look at all of them to get messages from all 3. Just follow your intuition. There's no right or wrong. All right. So let's get ready to go in. I'm going to put 3 and 2 over here to the side. And let's go in for those of you who were drawn to this Sodalite, pile number 1. Let's check out and see what Spirit has for you for this new moon in Gemini. We start out interesting. We start out with the 5 of Wands. This is a really interesting energy. It says on this card, discord or physical changes. So some of you may find yourselves, at the time of this new moon, sort of thinking about yourselves in sometimes opposition to others, navigating what could be tense situations or people, being, argumentative, at odds, discord, as the card says. But you've got the King of Pentacles that comes with it. And so that's some grounding energy, which is really helpful because whatever's going on, that's causing the dissension, the arguing, the feeling of tenseness, there's a grounding energy. Like Spirit is saying, you're working through it or continue to work through it. And you will get results from that because the King of Pentacles is an authority on what really matters, what it is that you're really creating at this time or choose to create. New moons especially is a time that we set intentions to create something, and you're going to get some clarity around it. We have the 4 of, they call it voices in this deck, but the 4 of Swords. That is a time where, thinking about Gemini energy, air, which is an air sign. So there's some clarity around whatever the conflicts may be in your life at this time or around you that you're being impacted by. And this clarity brings you that stability in that King of Pentacles energy. And look, and lo and behold, your fourth tarot card is the Three of Cups. So you're coming out of perhaps what could be or has been a period of feeling at odds, some resistance. You're coming out of that with some clarity, and it's going to wind up feeling really celebratory to you, because we know the Three of Cups is also, I'm getting a timing element. For some of you, this could be this is a card of birthdays, celebrations, causes to celebrate. So there's something coming through this new moon in Gemini, provided that you get the clarity that you need so that you can stabilize whatever this discord or destabilization is. All right. Now we're going to get to our oracles. Look at this. I love this message. Spirit says, choose yourself, pile number one. Choose yourself. So again, this brings me back to whatever this discord may be. Spirit is saying your voice matters. Your needs matter. And this is not a time for people pleasing, for making excuses for others. This is a time where Spirit is saying, no, you choose yourself. If it's a matter of, trying to placate someone else, trying to, always be the stabilizing force, King of Pentacles, stabilizing force. For some of you, even I'm getting this could be financial support that you have given or are giving to others, and it's causing some conflict. It could even be internal conflict as well as external. And Spirit is saying, choose yourself. All right. You have no. Ooh. And that's an angelic guide that's coming through and saying no. And I find that really powerful, that in light of the fact that you just got that choose yourself, because again, this is shaping up to feel like something that you may be giving a lot of, managing what you have materially. And Spirit is saying you may have to say no. You may have to, get some clarity so that it ultimately brings you celebration. It brings you a good feeling. It brings you out of a feeling of obligation or overwhelm. And there's a pride in choosing yourself. All right. You've got radical hope. Oh, wow. With that beautiful dove. And let me read that message for you. It says, in a world littered with chaos and darkness, choosing hope is the wildest form of rebellion. Radical hope. So, whatever situation may be causing you, or you are witnessing or bearing witness to a lot of discord, and if this is related to something that is impacting your financial stability, your home, what gives you comfort, all the things that a King of Pentacles can represent, that radical hope actually gets you closer to this celebratory energy. And sometimes no is the best answer you can give. It is choosing yourself. You have take a breather with that Cancerian energy that comes up. We know that Cancerian energy often comes up in matters of family and home, talking about the home front. So you may need a breather right now, pile number one. And that also helps me, tunes into why you were drawn to Sodalite, because Sodalite is a stone that helps with clarity, with mental clarity, Four of Swords. It helps with clarity, and you may need a breather right now. In fact, I'm going to switch these two around. I'm going to put that radical help with that Three of Cups, that celebratory energy, and that Four of Swords with that take a breather. Really, take a breather. And this also feels like a timing element here, because Cancer season is coming up this summer, right? So it could be that during the summer, you are, within the next 8 weeks or so, you're going to get a lot of clarity around what to say yes to and what to say no to. And if there's inner turmoil that you're experiencing, or if it's actually some tense exchanges that you're having in the workplace, at home, especially at home with that Cancerian energy, that the more that you are able to choose yourself, be willing to say no, not for arbitrary reasons, but for reasons that are right for you. It will lead you to this better hope for these relationships and the outcome that brings you celebration. You have Uranus, revolution. All right, now there is a change underfoot or underway for you. And the message on here is breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality. That's a very Gemini quality. Originality, insight, awakening, technology, innovation, humanitarianism, reform, surprise, freedom, experimentation, the unexpected, rupture, edge, diversity, and lightning. I want to hold that up closer in case anybody wants to Ooh, but I can quit shaking. Anybody wants to screenshot that. All right. So absolutely, there is change underway for you. It may come sudden. It may come in ways that you don't expect, because we know Uranus energy can sometimes bring things in an unexpected way, an unexpected breakthrough, an unexpected aha moment where after taking a breather, you say, okay, I am ready to embrace this change with a spirit of radical hope that it's going to come out for the best for all involved. You have illusion that comes up. Now, this is interesting because I think what Spirit is saying here, you all, if you chose this pile, is your guides don't want you to be under any illusion about your own actions and decisions that you make at this time. That sometimes when we are operating under a certain illusion, it doesn't behoove us. That's the opposite of choosing yourself. And so some of you may have been under a certain illusion about people, circumstances, whatever's coming to the front that you're having to confront and see it for what it really is, because that Uranus is going to give you that revolutionary clarity around what you have had or held an illusion about. You have joyful moments. Now check that out. Joyful moments when you had also that 3 of Cups, right? So that's what's coming to you. Like, despite anything else that you may be undergoing right now, pile number 1, please, hold on to that energetically. There is a joyous time coming. And it may come in a very unexpected way with that Uranus energy. It is going to mean breaking through some illusions that you may have had about people, things, how you thought things were working out, especially again related to home and finances and what you've done. And in choosing yourself, though, it brings you joy. You have summer. I love that. Thank you, Spirit. Because remember, we were just saying a moment ago in terms of the timing when we got that Cancerian energy. So this summer is very pivotal for you. This summer is definitely a time of, and I want to read the message on here. It says, say hello to luck, contentment, warmth, laughter, a full heart, and wide open gates of opportunity. Woo! Let's claim that with everything in you. New moon in Gemini, new things on the horizon. And this summer looks like a really, really good time for you. And I'm also getting, I'm drawn back to that take a breather. It could also be Spirit is saying essentially, you don't have to work for this change. There's some sort of cosmic intervention where it comes to you. And that take a breather, getting clear in that 4 of Swords, radical hope, that's sort of all of those are sort of an internal process, choosing yourself. You don't have to do something to bring about this change. This is not work on your behalf. This is the universe blessing you, provided that you recognize you have a right to choose yourself, especially in relation to your assets, your resources, your work, your effort, all right, what you accumulate. There is so much celebration coming for you. And yes, there is breaking through the illusion, but the illusion leads to all of this goodness. You have a message that says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Whoa. Right-minded thinking, that Four of Swords. And the fan is going as well. That's what's making it shake. Right-minded thinking, getting clear, take a breather, choose yourself, and the energy of love. Very loving energy in that radical hope, in that Three of Cups, celebratory, right? All this joyful moments coming in this during the summer. There's your key. There's your key right there. All right? In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring you. And this also confirms, you all, that what I was saying a moment ago, that Spirit isn't saying that this is something you got to do, some radical change or shift that you have to undergo to get this. This is something really trying to come toward you. Be open to love. You got that? Be open to love. And if for some of you, if you are undergoing, going back to that Five of Wands energy, if you're in a relationship, whether it's family, romantic, marriage, partnership, whatever, if there's tension regarding finances or stability, if that's what some of this is pointing to, then between these two cards that just came, and you know how we do it, different decks, right? Similar messages, so you know Spirit is speaking. There's love coming from a space of love, and choosing yourself is self-love. So coming from being open to love, being open to the spirit of love is what I'm getting. That is what leads you into this fullness of these joyous moments. You have the language of light, rediscovery, a humble wanderer, and communication. Communication, talking about Gemini energy, right? And so staying light, being light, reflecting light, absorbing light. I'm getting on a practical level. For some of you, this is about going back to summer, getting in as much sunshine as you can, sunlight, soaking up the vitamin D, like the language of light, the language of lightness, the language of a light spirit, lightheartedness that can come in the Three of Cups with celebration and celebratory events. That is a part of what prompts that revolution, that radical change. All right. And your final card, I have a crystal that for each stack. Peridot will help you. Well-being, attracting money, good luck charm, and healing heartbreak. Peridot is a gemstone that will help you right now. Beautiful. And I love the attracting money part as well, because there's a breakthrough. And that could be a part of that Uranus energy as well. There's a breakthrough that really does bring you more stability and more comfort. King of Pentacles wants for nothing. The King of Pentacles is not out here working for it. It's taking care of what's already been accumulated. And so if that is the source of what's caused some dissension for you, pile number one, excuse me, use that peridot. Get you some, in fact, I'm wearing a little, that right there. I've got my little peridot on right there, the lighter one. Right? Use your peridot for your financial abundance and attraction, for your good luck, and for healing heartbreak. Because there could be a little heartbreak. Sometimes when we have illusions, for the best of reasons, right? We want to believe in people, believe in, if I do the hard work, I'll get the rewards, all of those things that you've obviously put a lot of effort into. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this King of Pentacles for you. This is accomplishment. This is what you've done. This is what you've invested in: home, family, job, relationships. And so now, in choosing yourself, it is an act of radical self-love. That's some of that Uranus energy. But what it does is it really allows the light to come into you. And you will have all of this beautiful energy to celebrate over the summer. Okay? All right, pile number one. That was really amazing. And I love that energetically, I didn't see where you got to do a whole lot to impact this change. It almost feels like Spirit is saying, settle in, get clear, take a breather, and allow the good to come to you. and get your peridot. All right. Next, going to pile number 2, those of you who were drawn to the Howlite. Let's see what Spirit says for this new moon in Gemini for you. All right, we got the 4 of Wands, good health and home. So commitment, it could be some marriages, and marriages are not, you know, like it doesn't have to be a technical marriage, but it is something that you commit to. And it is a commitment between you and family, you and someone who cares about you. This is about good health and enjoying the fruits of your health, enjoying your well-being, your sense of vitality. You have the Hierophant. Wow. Meditation and wisdom, it says on this card. So there's something here already, I can tell. And you chose Howlite, which is very much a stone of clarity and mental clarity, which is extremely helpful in a new moon in Gemini. There's a stability here. There really is. There's a beautiful, beautiful stability that's presenting itself for you, pile number 2. And it has a lot to do with what you have believed in, the wisdom that you've gained, through relationships. This is especially important for those of you who are married or in committed partnerships. There's something where it pays off, where you recognize that it is solid, that you've built something that is worth really staying the course and believing in. You've got a 9 of Swords that comes. So that could indicate that for all of this wisdom and stability on the one hand, you may be concerned about what's going to change or what you think might change, because your 4th tarot is the Empress. So there again, it's where you're going. For some of you, I feel like this could indicate a solid nature to your relationship, perhaps your marriage, perhaps your job. Hierophant can sometimes, it's established order. A lot of times it's what we have faith in, but sometimes, it is about having faith in your career, have faith in your job, faith in what you've acquired, faith in your skills and your mastery and your wisdom. But there's also a time to grow and expand that. And I think that's where the the 9 of Swords is coming in for you, pile number 2, because you might be on the precipice, is a word that I just heard. You might be on the precipice of one of two things: worried about, or almost worried about, can I sustain this growth, this abundance, this wisdom, everything that I've worked for, what's established, what feels solid, what's tradition, the tradition of marriage. If you are in a relationship and you are worried about it, this is some concern around children, around abundance, around your ability to continue to grow what you have worked so hard to establish. Let's see what your oracle messages are around that. No one else is you. Let's start there. No one else is you. So if some of this worry in that 9 of Swords energy is stemming from, if this is a relationship and you're feeling a little wobbly, then, and again, relationship could be romantic, it could be business, it could be a friendship, family, however that works, but nobody else is you. That's your ace in the hole, if you will, that Spirit is saying. That's what Spirit wants you to be super clear on in this Howlite. Nobody else is you. And so that's one way to tackle wherever this stress level may be coming in. No one else is you. And if this is related to children especially, or finances especially, then there again, Spirit is saying, don't buy into what's going to take you away from your power, in understanding that you've earned this, you've worked for this. This establishment is something that you commit to and will continue to commit to. All right? Home is where the heart is, and you have a lot of wisdom. And so this is about maintaining a certain sense of order and peace so that you can continue to be abundant and grow. But the key to that is to understand your power. Listen deeply. Now I get that that's actually spirit talking. All right, pile number 2. You see that angel ministering to that person? Spirit is saying, listen, don't just overthink it, but listen deeply. Also reflecting back to this Hierophant. In fact, I'm going to put it over here with that Hierophant. Being in a very reflective state to listen to your higher self, not that mind chattery self. Gemini, new moon in Gemini, one thing we know about Gemini is it can change swiftly, right? Gemini, the twins, happy, sad, fast, slow, up, down, in a matter of minutes sometimes. And so spirit is saying, hold on, your stability is connected to listening to spirit that holds you down. All right. You have a follower. If you keep letting others decide the direction, don't be surprised when you end up lost. No wonder you got that no one else is you message. And also in the follower section, okay, Spirit just gave me another angle to your reading. For those of you who may be involved in faith-based things, working with, and doesn't have to be traditional church, might be, but anything where you are relying on the authority of another, a therapist, a spiritual guide, someone whose opinion you consider wise, and you take that in and you meditate on it and you absorb it and follow it. Spirit is saying, listen really deeply, because if no one else is you, and so even the best teachers, the best therapists, the best confidants, the best friends, right? The best counsel that you may receive, there is still that part of yourself that always knows first and foremost, right? You have clear your mind. Now, if that isn't lovely to get, and look, in Gemini, the mind, so Spirit is definitely speaking to you. Clear your mind. That 9 of Swords that you got, you got it? Clear your mind. And that meditation, your own wisdom. No one else is you. No one else knows like you do. So there is, in this new moon in Gemini, and you need to clear your mind in order to be able to hear that listen deeply message that Spirit is giving you. To be able to hear, your mind has to be clear. You can't have a lot of that mental chatter getting in the way, right? That overthinking. And trying to figure everything out. Some of you, I get, are very creative, and this could also relate to creative projects that you're working on, or something that you're trying to birth, a business, a relationship, personal growth, personal desires that you have that you're working on, perhaps turning to others or working with others to get there. But clarity of mind, Howlite again, right? Clarity of mind is very, very important for you. And never, ever, ever doubt yourself, because no one else is you. You have the Numinous that comes, and it says mystery. And it says it's about the unknown or the unknowable, psychic abilities, the cosmos, the universal truth, oneness, source, shadow work, inner knowing, tingling, ghosts, other worlds, space, enigmas, and the occult or intuition. So you're leveling up, pile number 2. You are understanding your own power. And that, again, going back to the Hierophant, the master, the teacher, the guru, the master teacher, to put those two words together. You are that. No one else is you. No one knows really more than you do about your gifts, your truth, your abilities, your capabilities. There are so many lessons in this new moon in Gemini for you around accepting that, like not just acknowledging it, or not just, doing affirmations to claim it. Okay, I know I got it. I know I'm wise. I know I can do this. It is understanding that you are on a path to leveling up, to accepting your intuition, to accepting your ability to grow and expand as your own teacher, guru, taking all the knowledge that you've gained And instead of being a follower, listening to spirit to direct you further or farther, right? Because you have amassed a lot of knowledge based on your commitment to a relationship, a cause, a skill, all of the above. You really have set yourself up nicely here. And spirit is saying in this new moon in Gemini, listen to us because we want you to clear your mind so you can hear, because you're leveling up. You have self-sacrifice. Why am I not surprised to see that? Mm-hmm. No one else is you. And that self-sacrifice is that thing that will lead to a Nine of Swords energy, where you overextend yourself, where sometimes you believe that your greatest service is in being of service to others. And that can be self-sacrificial, but self-sacrificial to the point that you stunt your own growth, essentially, is what spirit is saying here. And so self-sacrifice, if it is not healthy, a certain degree of sacrifice can be a beautiful thing. But if it takes you into a shadowy space, notice how both of those energies are kind of shadowy. If it takes you into a shadowy space versus a space where you are alive and abundant and creative and all of that juicy Empress energy, if it takes you there, giving to another, then that's where you are making an adjustment. Okay? You have a return to innocence. There's a, how do I say? Spirit is saying there's a fresh start here. And you know what I love also in relation to that Empress? Because remember, the Empress gives birth, right? She a birth to an idea, a business, a relationship, a new home, a project, a new version of yourself. She gives birth to that. And a return to innocence feels like a reset. Spirit is saying, listen deeply, because this new moon in Gemini, pile number 2, there's a fresh start for you. There's a fresh version of you in relation to home and commitment and marriage and loving without so much self-sacrifice. There's a rebalancing. You're not following what somebody else dictates or says is the best way to go about it. It's taking that into consideration, but also returning to your own innocence. Innocence being what's possible, believing the impossible, having a sense of wonder and expectation, and not thinking that you're going to be betrayed or harmed in any way by loving, by committing, by trusting your own instincts in your own spiritual path. You have Scorpio energy that comes up for you. And it says, draw upon and embody your emotional complexity and strength. Don't apologize for who you are. I love that, especially in light of this other energy that you got when they said no one else is you. You got that? This is deep and profound self-acceptance and trusting yourself. And I think the way this reading is unfolding for you, pile number 2, there is definitely some sort of dynamic here between what you believe about yourself and what you have taken in or are taking in from others in terms of how you appear to them and the feedback that you've gotten and the extent to which that is either diminishing your sense of self and accomplishment and can do, or feeding into it, diminishing it or boosting it. And there's a choice that you're making. Talk about new moon in Gemini, right? Gemini, the twins, the lovers in tarot, making choices and decisions. There's a decision that Spirit is saying, return to your innocence. Believe in your fundamental goodness, your fundamental capabilities, right? No one else is you. And there's a deep, profound recognition in that Scorpio energy. There's a really profound recognition. And I also am drawn to the fact that self-sacrifice that comes, she's kind of underwater. And we know that Scorpio or scorpionic energy really can go to the depths of the soul and the ocean to get to the truth and the heart of a matter. So Spirit is saying a lot of this work that you have done, all of this, there's a profound recognition that you are coming to about who you really are, the extent to which you still can grow and advance and be abundant and creative and creating new opportunities for yourselves. Some of you, this is desiring love and partnership and marriage and home, desiring good health and recapturing that. And so the return to innocence is what is the state, going back to a state of mind and a state of being where all of that is in place, where the growth and the healing of an Empress energy ruled by Venus, that it's natural, it's natural to you. And that's what you are. That's the truth, the emotional truth. This is a very, very emotional, mental/emotional new moon for you. And that's the mysteries that are coming to the front. That's what this Numinous and the mysteries are about. You are coming into your own psychic ability. That's why you have to clear your mind and accept your emotional truth as the truth, because no one else is you. You have the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. You see that? Remember, you got that? Clear your mind. So love, self-love, radical self-love. And the Empress definitely embodies that. The Empress doesn't ask permission to be abundant or to enjoy the fruits of the earth. The Empress says, this is what I do. This is what I'm made of. Right? Wait a minute. See, I'm going off camera a little bit there. Let me put this here. Right? The Empress says, this is what I'm made of. I'm supposed to be abundant. I'm supposed to be loved, ruled by Venus. So the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Listen deeply. Spirit loves you. Your ancestors love you. There is a loving presence that is standing over you. And it is bringing you back to a state of innocence. I'm even drawn to the color scheme that comes in these two cards together. You see that? Golds and greens and oranges, right? There's something warm and loving and growth oriented that Spirit is bringing to you. And it is such a contrast to this energy over here. You see that? You're going out of that emotional, that deep emotional turmoil, if that's part of what that Nine of Swords is about, and it's bringing you back into alignment and light of love. In fact, I'm going to put that right there. All right. Have faith. Spirit says 2 words, point blank, period. Have faith. It's going to turn out okay. And I think this is also having faith in yourself, having faith in your own unique talents and abilities and knowing. Because if you have been a little over-reliant on others to guide the way, to show you the way, if you as much as I rely on people like you, and I appreciate you for booking readings with me and supporting my channel, and I certainly try to show up and be as helpful as I can possibly be, but I am never, me or no one else is a substitute for what you intuitively know. You are every bit as powerful. Have faith, okay? Consciousness. I love it. Self-awareness, personal realizations, and prejudice. So there is for you a heightened sense of combating prejudice towards you in whatever form that might take. Prejudice in established systems. Sometimes this is religion or corporate entities, right? that then, you've been trained, don't question that authority. You go along, follower, you go along to get along, you do whatever, but there's a point where you are reaching where that's no longer your truth. And so your consciousness is shifting and you're realizing who you really are. Spirit wants to take you there to see who you really are and know your own authority, know your own truth, establish, create, Empress, create your own structures that work best for you. Consciousness. And this could also be a call to be around others who are, this is the path that they are on, their own consciousness. Okay. And finally, a crystal that will help you right now is the onyx. Seeing the future, that psychic talent, seeing the future, responsibility, stamina, and self-mastery. No one else is you. You got it? Overall, now that I've seen all your cards, overwhelmingly, your message, pile number 2, is know who you are. More than anything, know who you are in relation to what and who you have placed your trust in. Because nobody else is you. And you have a unique set of gifts and talents that Spirit is saying they want you to have more faith in. And in order to do that, you got to listen more closely to what they're trying to bring you. And approach them, approach your guides, approach your faith as an innocent. Like almost rewind the clock and rebirth yourself, talking about that Empress energy. Rebirth yourself, rebirth your innocence, rebirth your talents. And to do that, of course, you got to clear your mind so that you can hear. And onyx will help you. All right? All right, pile number 2. I hope that pinged. I love to hear your comments and replies and see where you are with that. Knowing that these are still general readings and, not everybody, but somebody is going to speak to somebody, I'm sure. All right, let's keep going for pile number 3. Those of you who were drawn to this Apatite. Let's see, this new moon in Gemini. What comes for you? We start out with the 2 of Wands. Focused forward. What's the future going to bring? How do I get there? New ideas. This card interestingly says conflict. I don't really see a 2 of swords. A 2 of wands. Swords, yes, air, but wands is more creative. It feels like taking responsibility and believing and trusting in some new direction that you may be called to go in, or thinking about, considering, making plans for the future. And here it goes, the Chariot. Success and action that you take. Moving forward. You are ready. I can see that already. Just the first 2 cards out the pile for you, pile number 3. You are ready to move forward on something, and you know how to do it. There's something here where you instinctively know with clarity, with certainty, what that future is that you want to move toward. Now, interestingly, you do have a 5 of Wands. They call it inspiration here. You've got a 5 of Wands, which indicates that there's some sort of conflict. And your 4th tarot card is the 10 of Swords. There's something that makes you worry about your own ability to get there. And I also feel in this 5 of Wands, Spirit is saying that it could very well be that this could be something that you've tried before, or have thought about for a while. What it is that you want to move toward, a dream that you have, a goal that you want to pursue, something moving you forward to the next chapter. And I think the conflict is either circumstantial. You're just, on an energetic level, how do I even get there? And that's what causes the 10 of Swords. So let's see what gets you there. Let's get to your oracles now. You've survived worse, okay? Let's say that first and foremost. You've survived worse. So part of your inspiration, Spirit is saying, is rather than think about what could go wrong in this Ten of Swords energy, being worn out, being a lot of anxiety, and this is something that's gone on for a while. They keep bringing me back to, this could be something that you want to move toward, or a decision that you've been making that it requires action. The Chariot, this is action. This is something that you are desiring to move toward, a change that you want to make, a difference in your future. The conflict, it could be with this, you've survived worse. It feels like you're almost anticipating what could go wrong before you consider what could go right. Okay? But you've got joy and contentment. That's what Spirit wants you to feel. That's where they're saying you're headed, and that's what you deserve, is joy and contentment. Let's put that over there right on top of that Ten of Swords. Try to cancel that out. There's joy and contentment that you, and I just heard that you are due because you've survived worse. You're strong, Chariot. You're very strong, and you will do what's necessary for family, for home, for those you love and care about. You will go to the ends for them. There's a payoff now where Spirit wants you to go to the ends for yourself, that you deserve some joy from that. You have a scarcity wound. Okay, now it's starting to make sense the more cards I pull. So scarcity isn't just material. It shows up in how you love, how you trust, how you receive. Are you brave enough to believe there could be more? All right, we're getting to the root of it. This confirms, thank you, Spirit. This confirms what I was getting in my spirit a moment ago when I said I felt like this is something over a period of time. Like maybe you've tried it before and it didn't work, and so that's causing the worries. Maybe this change that you seek, or the new direction you're trying to go in. There's been times that it didn't work, and so that scarcity wound. And again, just like it says in this card, it doesn't have to be material. It could be how you're loved. Who have you gone out on a limb? You survived worse. Have you gone out on a limb and didn't get the support, didn't get the promotion, didn't get the love returned, didn't get the recognition, right? Didn't turn out the way that you hoped. Those things are what contribute to a scarcity wound. But Spirit's sitting there saying, we want to bring you joy and contentment. Now, you have in Libra, make time for self-love. Now, interesting and powerful that comes in the sign of Libra, because we know Libra rules relationships, the 7th house. Some of you may have gotten divorced or broken up in a partnership, and you got the short end of the stick. Chariot rules the home, Cancer energy, Cancerian energy. And so you may feel like you're on the verge of a breakup, or thinking about, if I leave this situation, could be a job, not just a relationship, because even in Libra energy, the relationship could be in connection to a job, something that a relationship you've invested yourself in, a lot of yourself. But the self-love is saying that's what takes away your fears of, or should help take away your fears of scarcity, because you have survived worse. Now you have Scorpio, the powerhouse that comes, and it says transformative, intense, passionate, secretive, intimate, primal, lusty, compulsive, destructive, resourceful, mysterious. All right, so you could be a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. This could also point to a Scorpio in your lives that's impacting you right now. And this could just be the energy of Scorpio itself that is talking about a really transformational process that you're undergoing or will undergo, because Scorpio is the powerhouse. Nothing can do a rebirth, a regenerative reset like Scorpio. So this scarcity wound is ready to you're ready to move past that. That's that Chariot. You are ready to move past that so that you can feel a sense of joy and contentment that I am getting is long overdue, because of that you surviving worse. It's long overdue. It's overdue. But you can get there. And the transformative power of Scorpio is a part of what helps you get there. If you pick this pile, you might also want to look at pile number 2, the Howlite. There was a lot of scorpionic energy and messaging in there as well that might be helpful to you. Okay? You have the ego that comes. Now, it looks like very Mars kind of energy, doesn't it? So, your ego could use a boost. Mm-hmm. Your ego has taken a hit or two. You've had to pick yourself up. This could be job loss, relationship loss, both. There's definitely some things where you have a vision for how things should be. You want and deserve joy and contentment. Your ego needs a boost to trust and believe that you can still have it, because somehow some especially your mental resources, some of your resources got sapped, if that makes sense. Some of you started to believe that maybe you don't deserve everything that you wanted, everything that you were trying to get and do and experience. But and even in this "you survived worse" messaging, there's a sense of thinking about the worst before you think about the best. So your ego needs a little boost. And doggone if you ain't gonna get it, because you've got the Arrival that comes as a message for you. Blossoming, ready to come into your life, ready to have a reset, ready to go for this joy and contentment. There's an Arrival coming. And Virgo comes with it, and it says, establish greater order, harmony, and well-being in your physical body or environment. All right. So there you have it. There's a different routine that your spirit guides are asking you to adopt. Pile number 3. And it comes in this Virgo energy because we know Virgos are very health conscious, mental, physical, financial health. Virgos are very analytical and health conscious. It is also a planet that of sign that is co-ruled, like Gemini, by the planet Mercury. So there's some energy that will help you if you set a routine, a new routine for yourself, and do things incrementally. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with doing everything at once or making some radical shift all at once. And this routine has to do with rebuilding your ego in a positive sense. Your sense of worth, Scorpio powerhouse, your sense of worth, your sense of inheritance, joy and contentment. Scorpio rules the 8th house, which can sometimes relate to inheritance. Some people call it one of Scorpio's talents is being connected to or knowing how to manage or rule other people's money or resources. So there's something here that it's coming. I feel like it's coming back to you. The arrival of joy and contentment. It says, my fearless freedom lights up the world. Spirit wants you to be free, to be yourself. And don't dim your light. Now, especially. Don't dim your light, pile number 3. There's apatite is a stone very much around, can be a stone around health. Some have even attributed it to helping with weight loss and things like that. But it is a stone that can help with manifestation, with stamina, with power. And that's what's presenting itself here is Spirit wants you to be free from this sense of scarcity, the scarcity wound. Really, really being free and doing that in taking time for self-love. Self-love being something that will feed your ego in a positive way. Make no judgments. Because some of you, this coming in light of everything else that we're seeing on the table, says that some of you have beat yourselves up. Either regret, that's that Ten of Swords energy, right? Either regret over decisions that you've made, almost, I'm going to put it over here with this, you survived worse. Almost, how do I say? Sometimes when we have been the victim of other people's judgments, we can then, in turn, without even realizing it, become judgmental, right? It's almost like a defense mechanism. But Spirit is saying you don't have to do that. You don't even waste your energy on that. Make no judgments on what you think is or is not possible if you move forward and choose yourself. Make time for self-love. Fearless freedom lights up the world. In other words, you show up in the world because your ego gets boosted, healthy ego, and that brings you joy and contentment. And doggone if you didn't get the inner oracle, and it says you are the channel. Deja vu in a self-fulfilling prophecy. Deja vu. This is the third time now, you all, that we're seeing some reference to. Remember, I started out earlier in your reading saying I got the sense, I got a hit from Spirit that whatever this thing is that you want to move toward is not your first rodeo. And that actually kind of makes it all the more scary at times for you, that scarcity wound. It could even be how you've invested money before, or risks that you've taken before that did not pay off. But that's where Scorpio, get into the heart of that and regeneration, excuse me, and renewal, your inner oracle. That's what you want to apply that Virgo energy to. That's what you want to establish, a routine. Every day, do something that boosts your ego, that makes you feel good about yourself, that allows you to feed into the fearlessness of Mars kind of energy so you can light up the world. And a gemstone that will help you right now is none other than the luscious emerald. Luscious and royal emerald. And it says unconditional love, beauty, recovery, and healing past lives. Now, Scorpio does that as well, right? Regenerative and healing past lives. Because this scarcity wound could be stemming from not just what you have experienced in this lifetime, that whole you've survived worse, but it could be something that is related to past lives as well. So that means it's really been entrenched. But emerald is, rubies and emeralds and sapphires, like unconditional love, beauty, joy and contentment, ego, beauty, beginning to see yourself lighting up the world. And that's what brings you healing. And where you get there, I love the green in both. So green would be very good for you right now. Green gemstones, green colors, meditating, when you're in nature, green trees, green grass, green, absorb it. Green vegetables, green juice. Like really taking that in to heal yourselves. There is a healing that there's a healing that you're undergoing. And also keep in mind Apatite, because you were drawn to that. There's a healing. This new moon in Gemini is bringing you a healing. And that could be the arrival. It could be the arrival of your healing from scarcity. Your healing from what you have undergone that is maybe keeping you stuck or afraid to go ahead and pursue your dreams and move forward. But invest in yourself, pile number 3. Make time for self-love. That feeds your ego. That gets your inner oracle together so that you can enjoy this regenerative energy of Scorpio and go light up the world. All right? All right. Woo, that was good. That was deep. But that was good. Let me know what you thought, and I wish you the absolute best. All right? I'll talk to you real soon. Take good care of yourselves. Bye.